Hello, welcome back to Diostomy. Sorry it's been such a long time since I last did a vlog. It's been really mad, to be honest. I found out that I'm expecting my first baby with my husband. We're having a little girl, so that's all exciting. She's due in August. So yeah, my mind's kind of not been focusing. So yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind since. But anyway, just thought I'd do this quick vlog. A lot of things to really show today, so it's kind of mix up of everything. But I always promised you I would show you and order the Dexcom, which I did. Now, I won't lie, I've been on it for about 3 months or something now, and I've been doing some comparison reads and everything, so I can give you guys my honest opinion about it. The reason why I decided to go on to Dexcom was because basically, obviously your Libre doesn't have the alarms. Now the Libre 2 is coming out very soon. I've heard November in England. I believe it's already out in France and Germany. But obviously it's just a waiting game, and it's a long time to go that long without alarms, especially if you're someone like me that don't always feel when they're going low or high or whatever. So yeah, it's been, obviously it's a bit difficult, so I've kind of had to go and spend a lot of money and get this Dexcom because in our country on the NHS you can't really get the Dexcom. You can only get the Libre. So yeah, I have some overpatches that have come through. I ordered some. Now I was put on a trial for the new patches, but it all went messed up, so I never received the trial patches or anything like that. There was just a lot of confusion, a mess up, but yeah, but they've conducted the trials for them now, and I believe the trials have gone well because it sounds like they're coming out onto the market. Now from what I've heard, they've improved, what they've told me is they've improved the adhesion of these, and also changed some of the chemicals in that, I believe, because people are having irritation. I was one of them. If I have it on my arms or whatever, I was fine, but if I had it on my stomach, yeah, it was a different scenario. I had to have steroid cream and everything to settle it down. So they've improved all that side of things, and I believe they are going to actually release them to the market for people to buy. Now you can buy them off Diabetic Supply's website. They're called Expression Meds, and these are the first lot, not the updated versions, but they are really good. They do actually keep your Dexcom on. Now you can get the same sort of ones for the Libre as well, and I believe for loads of other products like Omnipod and stuff like that. They just advise that you, when you're taking it off, that you almost pull at it, because it's like a bit stretchy, the stuff, and you pull at it and put some like remover spray on, and it should just come off without damaging the top layer of your skin too much. So I am going to apply a new Dexcom today. I'll also put one of them on. Put them in there for 2 minutes. Also, I've received through the post that I've ordered some more stickers for the Libre. I thought you might be interested in having a look at. Should I get them out for you? Right. So Diabetic Supply are very, very good, because when you order these stickers, you can get them for your meter, for all sorts of, probably see it on my card there. So it's not just for your Libre, you can get it for your meters as well. I don't know about other CGMs, Doesn't show any, it shows the Libre, but you can get it for your meters as well. But like I was saying, Diabetic Supply are very good, because when you order these you get duplicates. So for instance, I ordered one of each of these items that I'm showing, but I also got a duplicate for each one. I think it's just their way of saying thank you and to keep you coming back as a reoccurring customer. So that's another duplicate. Got 2 duplicates there. They're the emoji ones. Sorry, it's not really focusing very well because I am doing this on my phone. So they're really nice. They jazz it up a little bit, make it a bit less medical, because there's nothing worse. But yeah, I've got the surfboard ones on at the moment. But yeah, with regards to the Libre itself, I don't bother really getting anything to go over the top of that to keep it on. I don't bother getting the over patches for that, or clear film or anything, just simply because I find that it sticks on quite well anyway. I never really have any trouble it coming off. The only time I do put, like, you know, clear film dressing on is basically when I'm putting my MiaoMiao on, because with the adhesion side of that, it sticks at the top here, but at the bottom you have like your little sticky pads that you put on, and them sticky pads easily peel off the bottom where your long stick is. I'll give you an example because I explained myself very well. But yeah, when you stick them there, that bit goes onto your skin and the top bit goes on like that, and so you always find that it's like that, it's not stuck on properly. So I put my clear film on just to keep it all on and stuck together, and that's what I tend to do with that. The Dexcom, I find that's not great, it does peel off, so basically the over patches are a lifesaver because that keeps it on. I find after about 4 or 5 days into the usage and wearage of the Dexcom, it does start to peel off, so these just make a massive difference in keeping it stuck on. Dexcom do their own over patches, but personally I find them useless. It's just like a jelly silicone type over patch, and when you stick it on, it doesn't really stick well to the fabric, and when you have a shower, water gets in underneath, gets to the fabric and absolutely soaks it, so you have to take that off just to be able to try and pat dry the fabric underneath. So I just find they're a waste of time, whereas this outer layer, obviously it doesn't get into the fabric because it's so tightly stuck around the sensor. I mean, you can just see a little bit there pulling, but that's just because I've had it on for such a while, but it does stay on really well. So I don't have any problems with doing that. That's what your transmitter for your G6 comes like. It just comes in there like that, excuse me. That's my code that you get, which I'll be showing you guys. You get all your booklets with the G6. Shows you everything you need to know about how it works. You can get a receiver for the G6 if you don't want to have it on your phone. It looks like that, but personally I have it on my phone just because it's easier. Another picture of the receiver. They're about £200–300 to buy, which is a lot of money. So and whereas the app is free, you can just go into your Apple or Android store and you can get that free. So I just think it's easier. Plus you have, I mean, with things like this, they're all right if you're only carrying one around with you and if you're using it to do your blood sugars on and stuff like that. But when you've got 2 or 3 of these things going on, there's just too many to carry around. So it's just easier having one less of them, and when it's on your phone it's just a lot easier. The picture of the receiver as well. But yeah, so oh dear, it also shows you how to do it as well, which I'll be doing for you anyway. On the app, which I think is really important to mention, on the app you can family share, so you can share amongst your friends, family or caregivers, whatever, with regards to your glucose and your graph. But on the transmitter you can't do that. Not transmitter, sorry, your receiver, you can't do that. So, you know, it's so much better just to have the app, because you've got that as an added extra and you're not having to pay 200-300 quid either. So they're what you get when you order it. So you'll basically, that's basically what you're getting for your £150 for your trial pack. No, £159 for your trial pack. Then you have to request. They are free, but you have to request them. But yeah, I'll just show you what it comes like inside here. So that's how it comes inside, and these are your sensors. So your sensor is inside there, which is crazily a lot of plastic to chuck in the bin when you've applied your sensor. I mean, it's an incredible amount of waste in plastic when we're supposed to be all trying to cut back on that. I must say the Libre has a lot less plastic to it than that does. I mean, the weight of that, just for one, is ridiculous. So I'll pop that there because that's my full new box. I've got one left in here which I'll be using. So yeah, you just kind of gives you like a beginning bit, like a dialogue thing of what you can use a book for and stuff. But these are all your pages inside, so you can write everything down. Also you have your diabetes diary at the bottom as well. So you get tons of pages like that, and also you get some quirky stickers in the back as well, and then you get some of them that you can just stick on your page, so if you have a doctor's appointment or anything like that, which I thought was really good. I'm working with my dietitian just to try and get everything under control, so I need to write everything down, and I was fed up of having random slips of paper everywhere, so I thought that will be handy. And it only cost £9.99 in the UK for me to buy. I don't know what it differ by in different countries, probably not that much. So yeah, and I also got this because when I'm out and about, I'm always looking in the bottom of my bag trying to find something to fix a hypo, or my friends will be looking and yeah, I either don't have something, so there's been an occasion where friends had to literally run to a chemist to get me something while I'm passing out. Which is not ideal. But yeah, so I thought if I had this at the bottom of my bag, you know what it is and you found it straight away. But it comes with some glucose juice, some glucose tablets, and the gels as well. And they're all like measured, metered, amounts and stuff like that. So I thought that was very handy to have, and I thought if you had space you could also, if you wished, take your hypo injection out and probably put it in there rather than carrying 50 things around in your bag. But yeah, that's the very berry one. It does say, yeah, 15 grams of glucose, so it's like a measured amount of glucose. But yeah, so I thought that was really good. I'll show you the glucose tablets. I don't normally get these type of glucose tablets. I normally get the Lucozade ones because I can tolerate eating them better. I don't normally like them sort, but it's good to have an emergency because anything will do. That's your glucose gel that some people might recognise. So yeah, when I get gels on prescription, I can put them in there. I have to buy my glucose tablets, my glucose drinks. It's just a rule on the NHS. So yeah, there are a couple extra things I wanted to show off. So I will take this off. I did want to say as well, I have extended the life of this. So, sorry, excuse me, pregnancy for you. Basically, it lasts for 10 days, does the Dexcom. Your Libre normally is 14 days, but the Dexcom only 10 days. Now, it's expensive because you have to buy 3 of them a month, and then every 3 months, I have to buy a new transmitter, which is very expensive. And when you're trying to self-fund these things, do you know what I mean? It gets really difficult, and to the point where you think, can I even continue? And you're having to, unfortunately, even though it's your health, you're having to think, well, if I can afford, I can't afford. So people have said you can extend the life of these. I've tried it the first time 5 days ago, and it actually works. Now there's a step 1, which is you leave it in and you go into, like I'll be showing you in a minute, you'll go into enter your code. You just don't enter the code and it'll just say that you need to do calibrations. You let it kind of clear on that, put a timer on for 15 minutes as it's warming up. Let it clear out all the old code. After 15 minutes, you then stop sensor and then you start again and enter the code. Now, I tried that way. Reason why I'm not showing you is because it didn't work for me. And I've been Googling a lot, and I think it's because Dexcom had cracked down, worked out what people were doing and stopped that way from working. So the way that actually works now, and as I call the new way, which is the second one, is you basically get either people use a credit card or a debit card, or you can use test strips. I used test strips and it worked. But the side here, I'll show you when I take it off, but there's little clips that hold the transmitter in place. If you slide your test strips down the side there, you can push them clips in, because they're more like that to keep your transmitter in. If you do that, it pushes them away from the transmitter and the transmitter basically pops out. Then you leave the transmitter off. I gave it about half an hour. Some people say about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, but like I said, I gave it a good half an hour. I also cleaned, I'll show you when I take this off, I also cleaned the gold terminal section, which is like little gold circles. I think they're just called terminals or something like that. I cleaned them up with a 70% alcohol wipe. I left the bracket, the sensor bracket on, so the sensor was off separately, and I just left this on. And then after half an hour and my transmitter being cleaned, I then reattached it back in, as you would do when you put in a new sensor on and transmitter, and then I basically said start sensor. I entered my code. You just need to remember to keep it, like as I showed you earlier. I kept my old code from last time. You just need to keep it, enter that code in again, don't scan it because I don't know if that'll work. I entered the code just because people had all entered theirs, so I would press enter code rather than scanning it. Then I gave it the whole 2 hours warm up. They say if it passes 45 minutes, that's the check-in stage to see if there's anything untoward going on. If it passes 45 minutes, then you're usually safe and it'll finish. For me, I set a timer for 45 minutes and then I had a look on my app and it was still processing and still working, and you know, after 2 hours it was all working and I got all my readings, which I thought was absolutely amazing. I would show you my phone, but I'm using it to record, so what I can do is probably switch my phone across to my husband's phone so I can record on his and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, it was it worked. It's been fine. The accuracy's been perfect. It's been really good, not had any problems with that. And like I said, it renewed it for a further 10 days. It just thought it was a new sensor and I've got another 10 days to go out of it. Now for me, I've had it going for an extra 5 days now, so technically I've had 15 days out of this sensor. I can let it run for an extra 5 days if I wish and let it run the whole 10 lifespan out of when I've reset it, but that'll mean I've had 20 days out of it, and I feel like I'm pushing the boat out a little bit too far there. I know people have one sensor just on for a month by doing this process, but I just don't feel like it's worth taking the risk, because you've got to think about the infection side of things. You've just got to be careful. If you do these steps and you do this is taken at your own risk, guys. At the end of the day, it's a decision you take by yourself. It's something I read up, I learned, and I took the risk myself. So it is very much taken at your own risk. And what I've done is I'm not going to let it push to 20 days. I've decided I'm going to let it run to 14-15 days and then I'll stop it. So instead of using 3 sensors a month, I'm only using 2 sensors a month, which is saving me £52.50, I think it is, a month, which helps me be able to continue funding it until the Libre 2 comes out and upgrades my NHS Libre, because that's what I get on the NHS. So yeah, it is taking at your own risk. I can't stress that enough. But what I did was, after I reset it and it started working for the extra 10 days, every day, every morning I get up, I just have a pat around, make sure it feels okay. If it's starting to feel sore, take it out straight away, and give it a good clean with some alcohol wipes and keep an eye on it. But I just had a good feel around just to make sure it was okay. If it felt okay, I thought, right, we'll see where it's like on day 2, and I kept doing that all the way up until I got to day 5. Once I got to day 5, I thought, right, it still feels okay, but I'm not going to risk it anymore. I've got out of it what I wanted, which is 2 sensors a month rather than having to do 3, and I'd rather not push it anymore. So, plus I wanted to do this video for you guys anyway, this vlog, so yeah. Right, I'll stop baffling on because I talk forever. So this is my app, my Dexcom app. You can probably just see it there. So that's all you type into your, whether you're on Android or Apple, you either go into your Play Store or your Apple App Store, and you just type in Dexcom G6 and that picture will come up. You press download that, and then it'll take you straight to basically applying a sensor. One thing I did want to say before I get carried away by doing this, I have had people commenting and asking me questions about alarms and stuff like that. Yes, if you don't have the app and you just have the receiver for the Libre, the Freestyle Libre or Libre, however people say it, then yes, you're not going to be able to share, and you're not going to be able to obviously get your alerts through your phone or anything like that. Now, if you have the Freestyle Libre app, then you will get your alerts through your phone. You just need to allow notifications. If you allow that, then it will bob up on your phone basically saying that you need to scan or whatever. If you set any alarms, then that will also come through saying that you need to do that as well. I know that whatever notifications you set on your phone will come through your watch. Unfortunately, like I said, the Libre, however people say it, I call it Libre. Basically, yes, it doesn't have alarms until the new one's released, the Libre 2. So don't expect alarms or, you know, to come through except from alarms that you set, i.e. in the sense of reminders. But low or high alarms aren't a thing with this, so don't expect them to come through. It'll just be alarm settings in the sense of if you've put a reminder on to test within 2 hours or something like that, they'll flash up on your phone and in turn flash up on your watch. I'm hoping when the Libre 2 comes out, the app will also be updated. I would have thought so anyway, in which case obviously I'd like to think obviously the alarms that are on the updated version of this, I would have thought would be on the updated version of the app. It might be a little delay between them both, but once that's done, I thought that it'd be the same sort of thing as the Libre one. You'll be able to allow your notifications, and then if you know the app does update, so you can have your alarms on it through your phone app as opposed to having to have a receiver, then it should come through as a notification on your phone saying your low or your high scan, and in turn should come through your watch. But like I said, that's the case of just waiting and seeing if that is the case when Libre 2 comes out. Now, I know they're definitely putting alarms on there, but it does say that either you're running high or you're running low. You need to scan to find out, and you have to scan to find that number out. So if they do update the app, then it'll probably say the same message on there, whether it's for your phone or if you have a watch connected to your phone, it might pop up there for you. And obviously it won't tell you numbers like a Dexcom does. You'll have to physically scan to find out, which is a pain, but at least you might have an alert that comes through saying you're low or you're high, and at least it is alerting you to that. You just have to find out what your numbers are, and to like if it's saying you're in your 4s and you're thinking I'll just have a biscuit, or if you're in your 3s, I need something a bit more sugary than, you know, a biscuit or whatever, more quick, faster acting. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that, just because people were asking me and trying to explain it in a message don't always come across very well, so I thought if I explain it in a video, then vlog, whatever, then you might understand a bit better. But it is literally a waiting game. As soon as it comes out, as soon as I've tried it for 14 days, I will do a vlog about it and going into depth and all the ins and outs of it. So, but like I said, it could be November, so it's just waiting. Anyway, if you already have a sensor on, then you basically just go into settings and you just press stop sensor. So I'm just going to press stop sensor. Do you want to stop your sensor? It is asking. It'll say stop or cancel. I'm going to stop sensor. And then it'll say start new sensor. So that's what you do. Now, if it's first time you're using this product and you've just downloaded the app, basically you'll not come straight onto that screen. You'll have a different screen, which is basically like that. You'll have that screen as soon as you load into the app, if it's first time you're doing it, and you just follow them instructions and it'll tell you what you need to do. So, like it says, the sensor code is on the sensor applicator. I'm not going to do any of that just now because I'm going to put all this in first. If you walk through them steps, it'll tell you step by step when to put things in, but because I've done it so many times before, I know what I'm doing, so I don't need to follow them steps. So I'm going to quickly wash my hands. You need to make sure you wash your hands, guys, before you do anything like this, because you are inserting something into your body and you don't want any infection. So I'm going to be right back in a second. Hi guys, I'm back. I've now got clean hands. So this is, like it says, your sensor. As you can see, that's where your code is that you enter. There's no point copying that code to try and extend the life of your sensor for those who are wanting to nick the code, because it isn't going to work for you. The code is unique to your sensor. So like I said, guys, when you do this, keep the code so you can input it later on after 10 days to extend their life. So, make sure it's definitely in date. So, this is your applicator. Like it says, a waste on the plastic front, but hey ho. If you've got a plastic recycling box or anything like that, you can just put it in there. But like I said, this is your sticker, this is your code. So before I peel it off, I am going to get I buy extra alcohol wipes so I can do this, because you don't get any alcohol wipes with your Dexcom. Libre do, Freestyle Libre, they send you out them in the box. I ain't got one out to show you. But Dexcom, you have to supply your own, so I've got some of them. I normally get mine from the chemist, but with all the epidemic at the moment, it's been mental and I can't get them from the chemist because they've literally run out of stock of them. I think people are buying them to clean the phones or something. So I'm having to just order offline where I can, so they're not normally the brand of ones I go for. But yeah, let's try and remove this as well, because I want to try and keep it away from this arm. I like to do it on a separate arm. But yeah, the reason why I've got two in is just simply so I've got alarms. because my blood sugars have been horrendous lately. I've just been going low all the time and I just can't get them back up, and at night I'm sleeping through hypos and all sorts, so I usually keep this. Just when my blood sugars are good, I don't bother with it. When I'm having a bad time with them, I tend to put one on just so, because my body doesn't tell me when I'm low anymore. I can't feel it because I've been low that much, and when they're that badly out of control, I'm low that much and that often that my body just can't recognise that I'm low. It's so used to it. So my body can't alert me anymore. So therefore, this does the job that my body should be doing. So, spray that round. I'm trying to poison yourself with this stuff, but I use that because I'm lucky because I have a colostomy. I can get this from my colostomy company. They just send me an extra one out, the doctors, because they know I use it for my sentences as well. I don't know if you guys who don't have a colostomy, I don't know if you'd be able to obtain one for free or not, but I know Diabetic Supply do sell them. But mine's by Coloplast, as you saw, and it's the Brava Remover Spray. There is a code somewhere. The code, if you want to note it down, guys, you can always rewind this video to catch me saying it again, is 12010. Now that's the order code for this. So if you do have a colostomy and you are ordering through Fitterworth or whoever company, Salts, if you just ask them to write that code into their system, it will bring this product up and you'll be able to get hold of it. I usually use it for, excuse my bump, I usually use it for my stoma bag, so I just get an extra one just to do this. So you're supposed to pull at it like this, and it helps it unstick, as well as using this. Oh, dear me, it's a messy job doing this with the remover spray, especially when it's so close to your face. So I'm just gently, as you can probably see, just gently easing it off, because I really don't want to end up with irritated skin. There, so that's all come off. There, we'll stick back there. It's really gonky now. Yeah, you can see it's gone a bit red from where I've been pulling off, but that'll settle down. It's just probably a bit irritated because it has been something that's stuck to me. And this is quite wet still from the remover, so I should just be able to pull it out. There we are, it's out. I'm just looking at the white. It's not too bad actually. Just looking at the site now. Yeah, it's not too bad actually. To say I've had it in extended, it's actually not done too bad at all. I didn't know if it'd be going a bit red with me having it in for a bit longer. It actually hasn't done too bad. So all you do is, this is like the sensor bit. That's your wire there. I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, you can now. That's your wire. So there's like a little holder bit there. So you just hold on to that, pull it, You should be able to slide that out. It's a bit slimy, so it's a bit hard to do right now. Normally you can just slide this out, but I think I put that much remover on, I'm struggling. But yeah, normally you can just remove that easily enough. I think it's just that wet. I'm being stuck in. There we are. Eventually, you just pull it. I was trying to pull it like that, like a Wally. You think I'd learned after goodness knows how many sensors. But yeah, if I can show you guys, you just pull it. Whereas I wasn't. I was being an idiot, and I was trying to pull it away like that, which, as you can see, doesn't work. So you just slide it out. So that was my bad. Anyway, that's all like really nice and sticky now. But they're the gold terminals. You just wipe that round with an alcohol wipe, and it will then clean all that up, and then you can re-put it back into the holder while it's still on your arm, and you should get a further 10 days. But I'm just getting a remover wipe. So they're these things. Sorry, holding upside down, what a Wally. So yeah, buy Curloplast. If you just if you can get them by your doctor, or you can get them because you have a colostomy. They're just Curloplast Brava adhesive remover wipes. The code is 12011. Just at the top there. I don't know if it's going to focus enough. But yeah, it comes in a box which looks like that. I've just ripped the lid off because it's easier. So I'm just, because obviously that was really sticky and gunky from the remover and the adhesive melting off from the remover. I'm just giving it a go over with that just to get all the sticky off it. So I'll stick all that rubbish on the floor and I will pick it up after this vlog. So yeah, all you need to do with that now is get your remover wipe, so again, your 70% alcohol wipe. Just give it all a good clean, especially over them terminals. Plus it's good to give it a good clean anyway because of the infection risks. You've got to think it is something going into your skin, into your body, and if it's not clean, your body will react to it. It'll know it's a foreign object, and if it's got bugs to it or anything like that, it'll react to it and you will become poorly because the area will become infected. You'll probably notice the skin going red. It probably feels sore. It might even start bleeding, and it might probably have a bit of discharge. It's when you need to go to the doctors and get that checked out, as you may need antibiotics to fix that. So I've given that a good clean. Still felt a bit sticky actually. I'll just give it another once over, and then I'll just stick it inside my box. That's an old code that I'm not going to keep. So that's from the reset I did. So I shall just stick that in there. So it's clean. That's basically how it comes inside the box. I kind of put it in a bit proper so I can show you guys how it comes in. Yeah, I usually just pop it on somewhere clean, but as soon as I got that box out, I'll just pop it in there, and it shows you what it's like when it comes as well. Right, I'm also going to use a remover wipe to get rid of any of the adhesive left on my arm, which does feel quite sticky. So I'm just going to use it just to go all over the arm, just to get rid of it. So I feel, yeah, it feels like it's got rid of it. So it was there. Probably go a little bit lower down to avoid where that one went in. People do put it in different places. People put it in the back of their arms. It is supposed to go in your stomach. I should have said that to you. You're supposed to put it in your stomach, but because I'm pregnant, I kind of had it in my stomach until I think I was like 15 weeks or something, 16 weeks, and then I thought I'm not risking it anymore there, because obviously I'm starting to grow now. I'm nearly 23 weeks pregnant now, so I'm avoiding the stomach area completely, but people apparently put it in their backs. Here, you can have it in the back of your arm. People have done that, sat on the lid. And also people have put it on the legs there as well. Sorry, I'm not giving you a good image. I tried it on the top of my leg and it didn't work for me. The readings just didn't work at all. The accuracy were completely out, and I ended up making a phone call to Dexcom just saying that the accuracy were totally out and it wasn't working, and they sent me a new one out. But yeah, so I've not risked putting another one in my leg again. I just thought, right, I'll try it in my arm. Tried it in my arm, it's worked, and that's where I'm going to stick with it until I've had my baby, and then I'll probably then alternate it between my arm and my stomach. But yes, so another alcohol wipe. I'm just going to use this generally just to go all over the area of the back of the arm, because I also want to go over where I've had the old sensor in as well, just to clean it up in general anyway. So that's been done. I do wonder if I can get away with sticking it up there, just because I want to give that time to rest really, because it's a little bit red and my skin's a bit peely from it, although I've got most of that off actually. Could have it down near, but I do wonder if I could get away with it up there. Let's have a look at one of these expression meds, because it'll give me an idea of roughly how much of the area is going to be taken up. Oh, I think I got the one I wanted out. Like I said, I had that one in recently. I've got that one, I'll show you again, and that one, but I think I'm going to use that one this time, because I really like the look of it. Bit fiddly, putting them back in. Pop that there. So I do wonder if to try and move my hair, try and put it at the back here somewhere. Oh yeah, it would work. There'd be enough room for it to sit, I'd say. Just feels like you've got a bit of everything in one arm, doesn't it really? Which is a little annoying sometimes. Yeah, I think I could get away with that there. like I said, I prefer just one in each arm, so I've not got like 60 medical items in one arm, but problem being is I'm trying to avoid where my last one was, because I can't really alternate my sides at the moment. I'll put the other one there. It's a little low down on my arm, and it is very near where I had my old one in. Don't really know what to do, to be honest. If I can see where it is, I might potentially do it where it was. Yeah, it's going to be too low down. It might be best putting it in the same arm on this occasion. Just use one of these because my arm's bleeding a bit from where I've been looking at it. That's it. So yeah, I might avoid the arm, just give it time to rest a little bit. Might be best if I put it in the top here, and then by the time this one's in, this will be removed in about 8 days, and then I'll be extending it, so I'll have a week where it's in the opposite arm anyway, so yeah, I could probably fit it in there with ease. Don't think it'd be too much in the way there, so I might do that. So it took time to work out where I was putting it, guys. It's always a bit awkward when you're pregnant because you're having to alternate your spots so you don't get sore, but when you've got a mass like that guy, when you've got a rapidly growing tummy, it's a little bit difficult because I'm nervous. Some people have said they've worn the Dexcom all the way through pregnancy in the stomach and no problems, but it just makes me a bit nervous. Probably more so the fact that I'm my first time mum, so. Right. Dropping everything everywhere. So, for those that are still watching that haven't got bored and switched me off, you just pull that off. You can get rid of that piece. You pull that up, and that, like I said, is your code. You want to keep hold of that even after entering it. That's your adhesive. I'm going to stick it on where you want to stick it. I've stuck it there. This orange bit here, you just want to break that off and let it fall, and then that means you can activate your button when you're ready. That means I've popped it in and I've now removed it. Some people keep it in place for a little while to make sure the adhesive's stuck down, but I usually just leave it on for a few seconds and then just remove it. So that's now in. I'm just hoping I've not put it too high up, but never mind. But yeah, I don't know if you can see. You can kind of see, I think the needle gets broken off. Obviously the needle puts the sensor in your arm and then the needle comes back out. Don't worry, your needle's not left in your arm, it's just the sensor. But when the needle retracts, I think it cuts the sharp bit off because the end bit's blunt, and I wouldn't expect that to be blunt when it's puncturing the sensor wire into your arm. So I think it breaks off and cuts it, so it's blunt so it doesn't hurt you. as it's pulling it out. I think it just breaks the top off to blunt it, but don't worry, the needle or anything like that, it's not in your arm still, it's completely out. You can probably just about see it there. See that thin bit there? That's your needle bit. But yeah, and then all that is for bin, literally all of it. And that's what I mean with waste of plastic. So that's all stuck down now. I'm going to put that on now, and then I'll put my Dexcom transmitter in. With this, there is a way of doing it. They normally send it on the cards. This doesn't have it. I'm presuming they've just given you a website to look it up on there. But there's 3 parts. There's your middle part, and your end parts. You peel off the middle part first. So peel it off carefully. Like so. So you've just got the end bits. Normally I have someone do this for me, which I might do that actually. If I don't normally do this myself because it's so difficult to line up, especially when it's on your arm. When it's on your leg or somewhere like that, it's much easier. But if you're on your own, let me know how you get on by applying it by yourself. I'm not going to risk it because I do have someone with me. But if you can, get a friend or a family member to help you with this. So I'll be back when I've got it applied. Hi, I'm back. My husband has been a legend and he stuck it down for me because I can't do it on my own. But the sides, I think he's chucked them on the floor somewhere. Once you've stuck your middle part down, then with your sides, it'll be literally stuck down and these bits will be flapping. Then you just peel them off, neaten them down, peel that off, neaten that down. And basically all that's allowing you to do is get the main bit stuck on where it needs to be. Then once it's in place, you just stick the rest down. So that's what you need to do with that. Now, he stuck it down for me, which is brilliant. And as you can see, it practically fits all the way round. So I don't have any problems. Now that is the sensor. As you can see, it's bleeding a bit. That is the sensor before I apply the transmitter. Now, the transmitter's there. Struggling to find it. So what I usually do is just, if it's bleeding, I just allow it a few minutes to stop bleeding before I apply the transmitter. But what I can do is probably show you what to do. So if you've had a sensor in before, start a new sensor. If you haven't and you've just downloaded the app, it'll take you straight into this. And all you need to do is press enter code. It'll be showing you to scan or to enter it manually. Now, because it's the first brand new sensor I'm putting in, I'm going to scan it. When I come to do my reset of the sensor in 10 days time when it's run out, I will be then entering it manually. But today I'll be scanning it, which is the little box there that you scan. And like I said, when I do the reset of it in 10 days time, I will enter it manually. So today I'm going to take a photo. It'll then show like that. And all you need to do is hold that and allow it to scan it. And the green box, you just basically hover the square into that. So I'm going to do that now. Then it'll take you into how to apply it. Now, like I said, guys, it is designed to go in your stomach. But obviously, with me being pregnant, it's probably not. It's not something I want to risk doing anyway. it's up to everybody else what they choose to do, but I choose not to, especially when I used to react to the overpatches in my stomach as well. You can play this quick video and it will show you how to do it. You'll see the video is booting up, and it'll just tell you how to do it. Oh, it does say that you can apply it. See if I can stop. Oh no, I can't stop the video to show you. It does show that you can apply it to the back of your back and to the back of your arms. It does show that, as you'll see there. So it does say that you can do that, age depending, but I wouldn't have thought that mattered too much. So it goes on about all that video, making sure it's not near an insulin pump site. So if your insulin pump's at this side, you want to do it that side, that sort of thing. But anyway, I've applied mine, so I'm gonna click next and then start. So it'll be starting its warm up, and it'll take 1 hour 59 minutes for it to complete the warm up. That is the same warm up screen you will have when you come to restart your sensor after doing the processes I do. And it's after the first 45 minutes where it's doing its check, you'll know if it's going to work or not. I'll run that through with you. I'll get this put in now. But yeah, but that's the same sort of screen you're going to see. It's the steps you do to fool it into thinking it's a new sensor. So, a little bit of blood there, but not too bad. It's not got any worse, so just wanted to give it a good 5-10 minutes, make sure it wasn't going to bleed anymore. Now, I've really well stuck this in to show you guys how it comes. It's a bit gross. There's the one there still. I'm using a lot of these today. Don't normally use this many. I think it's because we're very sticky from that stuff, and then I've had it in this box, which somehow it's managed to get a bit of the white stuff from the box stuck to it. So I don't want that going into where I'm bleeding. So all you do, as you can see, it needs to be that way. So you want to push that small end in first, and then you'll hear the click, and that means it's in. So as you can see, that's all in properly. It's nice to have a fresh sensor actually, because my overpatch was starting to get a little tight because it was 15 days old, the overpatch. So yeah, that's all in. Keep your code. Otherwise, if you don't keep this, you cannot renew with the sensor for another 10 days. So make sure you keep this. So what I do with my codes, my empty transmitter box, I usually stick all my codes in there from where I've applied my sensor. So I'm going to stick that in here so I know where it is and I've got it and I know where to go for it, and then I stick it in my diabetic drawer. We all have one of them, or a cupboard. Just stick it in there in a box or an envelope or whatever, so you've got it safe. I usually stick it in my transmitter box. I think that's the best place for it. You know where it is then. Right, so that's it. That is now warming up. After the 2-hour warm up, I'll have my readings and I'll be good to go for 10 days. So like I said, this is taken at your own risk, guys. I learnt this from other people and I took that at my own risk. I don't usually push it for a further 10 days. I usually give it an extra 4 or 5 days because the Libre usually lasts and is certified to last for 14 days without major infection problems or risks. So I tend to make it last just as long as my Libre, which is 14-15 days, and then I tend to take it out. So I'm only using 2 a month rather than 3. So it's up to you if you want to make one sensor last a month. That is entirely up to you. Or if you want to do what I'm doing and make 2 sensors last a month instead of 3, like I said, this process is entirely taken at your own risk. I'm just giving the advice out there for if you want to do this to save money, or if you are simply running out your supplies and you're not going to get them in time, then at least you're not going to be without any readings or alarms during that time. So that is it, guys. I hope you're all well and staying safe during this horrible time with the epidemic. All the best, and like I said, stay safe please. Okay, bye.